Welcome to Tag Along. My name is Beth, and if you're looking for some ideas, tips, or tricks to make your upcoming travel as memorable as possible, then you're in the right place. Now, recently, my family took a trip to Japan, and one big item on my husband and daughter's list was to spend the night in a capsule hotel. Now, previously, I may have dealt with a little bit of claustrophobia, so for the record, I was not thrilled with this idea. But I decided to push through, and I thought that you might like to tag along. The very first capsule hotel, Capsule Inn Osaka, which is now called New Japan Umeda, opened its doors in 1979. It was originally marketed to businessmen who worked so late that they missed the last train of the day, or who got too drunk drinking after work to face their wives. Somehow, these 6.5 by 3 by 2.5 feet pods achieved their current novelty status, one I was assured we had to experience for ourselves. Our visit to the land of the rising sun started in Fukuoka. Located on Kyushu Island in southwestern Japan, which is the country's 5th largest city. We saw that the 9 Hours Capsule Hotel had good reviews, so we booked our stay 2 months in advance on Booking.com for around $31 each for a Sunday night. Just a short walk from Hakata Station, it only took us about 5 minutes to get to the 9 Hours Hotel, which honestly felt so much longer, parading our rolling suitcases down the sidewalks in the humid 90-degree weather. You can check in as early as 2 p.m., but since our train arrived earlier than expected, they graciously allowed us to check our bags before then. To check in, you need your government ID or passport to use one of their automated kiosks on the 9th floor, and then you'll receive a personal key card, like this one. Once inside, you are free to explore the lounge, complete with greenery, relaxing music, desktops and seating, free Wi-Fi, and even a balcony with views of the city. In the lobby, opposite the lounge, you'll see 2 elevators, one for women and one for men. You will need your key card to enter. The ladies' elevator will only take you to pod floors 5 and 6, and the lockers and showers for women on floor 8. And the gentlemen's will only take you to pod floors 3 and 4, and the lockers and showers for men on floor 7. My husband Josh made his way to the 4th floor, where he discovered trash and recycling bins and a couple of private restrooms. Hello. He then slid open an oversized industrial door and saw what we learned was the standard setup of 2 layers of capsules stacked on top of each other. Josh said the concrete floors and the drab colors gave things a dystopian future feel, like he was about to be put to sleep on a spaceship leaving Earth in search of a new home planet. Sure. Okay. The design was pretty cool. There were places to store your personal items, but one of our only complaints was that the air vents inside didn't work very well. So the pod itself was actually kind of warm. We were also surprised that the pod didn't have a door to close. Instead, it had a window-type shade to pull down for privacy. It was perfect, however, for him to have a much-needed moment alone that afternoon to take a nap. Stepping into the pod hall up on the 5th floor, I was amazed at how eerily quiet it was. My daughter and I had reserved one on the top and one on the bottom. She quickly claimed the upper pod and made herself comfortable. We couldn't resist sharing a Brady Bunch moment. Then she slowly drifted off to sleep. Just kidding. It was only 3 in the afternoon, so we let Josh sleep and we went back to shop at Hakata Station, which has 10 floors, 12 if you count the basement and rooftop levels, containing 230 shops, places to eat, and claw machines. We sadly didn't have time to visit them all, but we sure had fun trying. Later that night, the moment that I had been avoiding finally arrived. I was nervous that it was going to feel small, but there's actually surprisingly plenty of room. And the best feature of all was an amazingly comfortable crescent-shaped pillow, which I am still trying to find to purchase online. I plugged in my phone into the conveniently placed outlet, turned out the lights, and actually slept great. Until... let's just say the pods aren't soundproof, and people who hit snooze before sunrise don't make any new friends. Meanwhile, back in the silent serenity of the 4th floor, daylight peacefully shined in from the window at the end of the hall. I wish I could have slept that late. Disappointed that he was in fact still on planet Earth, Josh gathered his belongings and slipped off to the elevator. He ventured up to the 7th floor, which was filled with wall-to-wall storage lockers, each activated by a personal keycard. He said it was kind of strange how other guests avoided each other, especially in the public bathroom areas, hardly making eye contact even if you did see someone. But their private shower suites helped minimize any awkwardness. He really enjoyed wearing the complimentary slippers and trying on the jumpsuit-like pajamas that were provided, feeling very futuristic while still hinting at tradition. We regrouped in the lounge, dropped our slippers and PJs into the marked bins in the lobby, and checked out well before the necessary 10 a.m. Then we returned to Hakata Station to find the bullet train to our next destination. But that's another story. And we hope you enjoyed traveling with us, that you'll take a moment to give this video a thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe, because you won't want to miss future trips where you can tag along. Hey, if you've already stayed in a capsule hotel, tell us where and what you liked about it in the comment section below. And for those of you who haven't, let us know what most interested you in today's video. And see the link to the 9 Hour Capsule Hotel in the description below for more information. Until next time, this is Beth, encouraging you to have an adventure all your own.